Should be good now. Yeah, there we go. That's a full-on kickoff. It is Grog versus Ripper in the first semifinal of the Masked Duelist in North America. You guys have seen a little bit of Grog. You've seen a little bit of Ripper. But just in case this is your first time tuning in, I will remind everybody how it works. This is a 1v1 tournament in which every player in the tournament is completely anonymous. They don't know who they play against. They only know themselves. You guys don't know either, and I have not revealed anything along the way. You have to watch how they play to try and figure out who it is. Now, Grog and Ripper both have wins. They played in previous matches, and they've gotten to this point. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remind you guys. I think I have the audio turned up a little bit louder than I normally do. Nope. Apparently, I have it the same as normal. If it feels extra loud, let me know. But anyways, I'll remind you guys of what you guessed. I don't want you to stick too hard to your previous guesses because this is a very hard game, and the chances of you getting it right the first time, maybe not so great. Maybe you got it right, but as you get more information, be prepared to change your guess if need be. Now, Ripper's going to put on their first goal to make it 2-1. You guys guessed that Grog was Reddles. You also guessed that just about everybody in the tournament was Reddles. You guessed that half the people we watched play pretty much were Reddles. And you guessed that Ripper was Wavy. So those were chat's agreements on the guesses in the previous round. Is that what you're expecting to see again? You have to decide for yourself. Maybe you can think about it in the frame of those players, but you might get stuck in a rut if you do so. Grog gonna make a quick play on the ball to send it soaring over the top of Ripper. Yesterday, Orange Team did fairly well. Did Orange Team win every round? Can't remember if it was 100% win rate for Orange. What a play from Ripper. Let's take a moment to appreciate this one. No boost either. A little wall dash to get the first one, a pre-flip in front of the net to tap in. 100 bits from Sleazebury says the biggest clue is their demo spawn mechs. Yeah. Where they spawn off of demo is how you can tell someone's personality for sure. Grog tapping to the back wall for a double. Gets denied. Ripper out of boost. Fortunate that their single jump at least connected with Grog. As Grog now looking for multiple resets. Is this a triple? Is this a triple reset? It's going to get denied. Ripper didn't get the best hit off the side wall, though, for the potential counter. So no reward to try and punish after what was... I mean, I shouldn't even say punish because it's not like Grog really did that much wrong. Placed it decently well. It's just a good save by Ripper, who's going to go low 50 and actually made a mistake in flipping away from the ball. They were able to pin it there, but the flip made their recovery a little bit slower, and that way they weren't able to collect the ball and capitalize. So a couple of different failed opportunities on the counterattack is going to lead to Grog still being up 2. Grog going to go all the way from the back corner. A little reset. Musty! And Grog is going to score their 5th goal in style. No boost for Ripper as the dribble started, so they went to the back corner and had to just watch the show as Grog sends it soaring into the net. Ripper trying to hold on to possession here. Going to dive into the corner, take the boost away from Grog, expecting Grog to leave, which is what they got. They're trying to get the ball up on top of their car quickly. Couldn't really handle it cleanly enough in time to get a scoring opportunity, so instead it'll have to be on the follow-up. Air-dribble 50. Defended well initially from Grog, but could not avoid the demo as they pinched the ball away. Ripper needs to get this ball to not be rolling as soon as possible, but again, set himself up for a situation where he can't really make an outplay, and he has to spend all of his available space just getting the ball off the ground. Grog, a win in the corner. Take a little wall dash there to stay on the ball with 0 boost. Playing off pads and just surprised Ripper by being so aggressive. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind now. Grog tried to hide who they were yesterday, but they've gone back to their usual tricks, and today it's obvious that it's Reddles. So you're sticking with your Reddles from yesterday. Grog. Hook shots. I shouldn't really say hook shot. It's a free tap in. But we'll put a little extra on what is a breakaway goal from his own half. 7-2. Grog played yesterday, I think, in a sweep. Grog against Samurai. I believe Grog won 3-0. Although Samurai put up a decent fight. Grog is maybe trying not to drop any games as they have a huge lead over Ripper at the start of this. Grog couldn't get back down to the ball, so Ripper is going to need a kickoff sequence to have a chance. The ball going in does help. Honestly, either way, because no matter what, the game's going to have to end with multiple direct kickoff goals in a row, and Grog is smart enough to not allow that to happen with a little fake kickoff ball into the back corner, and that just about ends the game. Do I know who the players are? Yeah, for those of you who are maybe tuning in late, nice little flick. Every moment, even in a game in which the scoreline is already decided, you can learn a little bit more about the players. As Grog looking to pop off. Famous! Thank you for the 2-month Prime. Much appreciated. Grog is looking to have absolutely no mercy as the game winds down. Says, you will call for next, or I will score as many goals as possible. Ripper looking for one for the road, maybe a confidence booster. No, Grog eats it up out of the air. And game number 1 will go to Grog. Game number 2. Grog and Ripper. The onus is certainly on Ripper to find a bit of offense in what has been a one-sided affair so far. Wall to air dribble for Grog. And they are going to slot one top shelf with ease. We can watch it from Ripper perspective as they block a space that 90% of the time and maybe 95% of the time fully covers the options, but not the way Grog is playing. Sleesbury's, thank you for gifting a sub. Over to Blood Red Wine. Grog playing a bit of keep away. I think we saw this yesterday. Grog recognizing when they don't need to take the ball quickly. Maybe just a fake jump towards the ball to keep Ripper playing overly patient and just land back down to the ground and go for the actual touch when it makes sense to get a goal. Ripper flick denied. Grog getting ahead of Ripper, not allowing Ripper to get back to net. 3-0 in favor of Grog. Ripper having to flip to get back to this one. Oh my goodness, Ripper may not be having a ton of offense, but this is a nice way to get it going here in game number 2 as he pre-flips back to the ball, gets a touch, gets a demo last second, and then quickly reads that he's going to need to dish it in, jumping off the back wall and tapping in the crossbar down setup for the first goal. Grog, instant kickoff goal to take the wind out of the sails of Ripper after a good shot. Grog, again, when he sees the defender playing passively, not approaching, already on the back wall, does not pull the trigger early. Waits until he can get the outplay, feels very comfortable just sticking with the ball all the way to the net if need be. And now a delay kickoff from Grog as he chips the ball center field, but it actually is going to go in favor of Ripper. Both of them on full boost. Ripper, a little bit of a lackluster flick. Going to need more to try and get past Grog on the goal line. Grog almost looking like they were handing away a goal. Good bit of keep away from Ripper, but Grog quickly back to the play. Not only do they save it across the net, but they actually get to the corner boost first, and then they get too far ahead of themselves. In order to dodge the demo, they went farther out into the midfield, and Ripper chased them off and turned around for the 0 boost goal. Okay. I don't know how to explain this one. Grog loses the kickoff into the back corner and then was really hopeful with this touch. Thought could get all the way past Ripper. I mean, maybe there's a world in which it does and every other option is also just getting scored on, so why not take the risk? But it doesn't seem like you needed to tap that as an assist for Ripper. So Grog's lead slightly dwindling away. 0 boost now for Grog. Gonna have to back off. Can Ripper get something going before Grog gets right back inserted in the play? Ripper's deciding for a full field boom. Did force a bit of boost out of Grog on the recovery and the save. Now, how is Ripper's possession game in the attacking half? They did not grab the corner boost, so it's actually going to end here. Grog wants to start an aerial. Ripper not going to allow it. A good challenge results in a goal for Ripper. And a chance still here in game number 2. Ripper on low boost with Grog in net. Recognizes he could just take a trip to the corner, get that advantage. I think he got this boost as well because Grog's still starved. Now Ripper trying to play some mind games here, and then actually tapped it behind Grog. He was wanting Grog to jump off the back wall. I think the plan for Ripper was, if I touch this ball towards the net, surely Grog panics and jumps off the wall. But Grog did not worry at all, just stayed glued, and is easily going to be able to get that reverse touch. The mind game from Ripper did not pay off. So much so, he gets scored on the other way. So Ripper down 2. Going to rush to this ball with the boost advantage. Puts it slightly off target. Get another boost steal. Oh my goodness, Grog. Grog has had some serious head scratchers in this game. And this time, he is just going to own goal. I don't know what, there's no other way to put it. He just owned goals. Grog up 1 still, despite the antics. The Redosans are instantly flying in the chat after the own goal. Grog going to try and redeem themselves from the back corner. Full field air dribble. Ball's just a little bit short of the power needed to get past Ripper. And in fact, Ripper is going to tie up the game. Great counter from Ripper. Heavy touch. This counterattack shot, 110 kilometers per hour, no bounce. Not that he needed to do that, but the way everybody hits the ball can always give little bits of hints. Ripper dashing on the side wall. Grog demoed as they try and chase it to the corner. And now Ripper looking for this hook shot. They were able to set up a ton when they were playing against Takumi. And this time, it'll just be a little setup back towards the near post. I've talked about it before, but in the new ones game, not often do you get this kind of space in the ground game. Everyone goes and challenges right away. They do not let you get a chance to set this all the way up, but off of a demo is a good opportunity to set up that swing dribble across the net and hook shot back. And Ripper used it to their advantage. 7-6 lead for Ripper, who is up really just to 50. And stop Grog from clearing. Grog, little dash up the curve. Now with 46 boost. Doesn't have enough to take an aerial. Instead, going to boom the ball to the back wall. Ripper on very little, trying to save it intentionally into the post. Grog sticks around, or sorry, the crossbar. 7-7 with 36 seconds. Grog. 2 resets. And a final nice little flip to put it over the top of Ripper in style. There's 1-2. And then held it right until after Ripper is forced to come off the back wall. And only then using the flip to get the outplay. Grog could not get the back corner boost. Ripper, a little demo. Wait a second, there's a great chance. In fact, it's all but guaranteed to tie up the game. Grog just needed to last 6 more seconds, but couldn't do so. Oh my goodness. It's a 0-second goal. It's a 0-second goal off the kickoff. This one's set high. Grog with 1 boost. Doesn't know where to position, decides to go to net, and all Ripper has to do is just put it top shelf. Ripper gonna win game number 2 to tie up the series. Grog and Ripper. Game number 3. Grog had a dominating first game and a dominating first half of game 2 before Ripper finally started to get things figured out and was able to take and tie the series. Ripper, interesting touch on the save. Put as little bit amount of power towards the side wall as possible to try and keep it midfield, which is a bit of a danger because that is where Grog was. My goodness, what a hook shot and what a save. Ripper absolutely blasted that to the top right. Somehow Grog saved it, but did not have the follow-up. Actually was pretty close. I just don't see a world in which that 50, though, doesn't fall in, even if Grog did get back to get a touch. Yeah, Ripper actually ripped it top right. That's a good point. Grog off the side wall. Air rolling into the empty jump to keep the air dribble. Ultimately losing the possession, and actually a demo for Ripper should be a goal. Barring anything too crazy. Wave dash kickoff for Ripper. Recovers to that right midfield boost the quickest, and then a nice changeup in the setup. The first touch to pop the ball up, that is when you see Grog react. The shot goes top left, and Ripper extends the lead. Grog getting bumped multiple times in a row. Ripper has just decided that the best way to play defense in this situation was not to go for the ball at all. Just to go for 2 bumps, and then actually got a demo. Now a chance to rip again. Ripper living up to the name. And off the demo, a 4-1 lead. Grog wants to watch it. Doesn't understand how they didn't get that save. Ripper Fake challenge gets Grog up in the air. Grog is so good at reading the defense. Once Grog is up, they always seem to be making the right decisions in terms of how to counter what the defense is doing. Ripper touched towards the side wall, but wants to play the ground game like we've seen from Ripper before. And again, Grog, given that kind of space we don't often see, even transition up to the back wall. And that just goes to show you how used to the aerial game these top 1v1ers are now. That Grog saw possession going towards the side wall and immediately transitioned to back wall, expecting something to go up. Only later recognizing they maybe needed to get down and defend against some ground game. Grog gonna get some open field. Grog has had a couple different direct kickoff wins, and it's gonna get another one. Let's go watch it from Grog's POV, because this kickoff is doing a lot of work for them. Just a standard kickoff against a wave dash that they're looking to try and force left, and they're just doing it so clean. It's paid off multiple times. Another standard versus a wave dash, but Ripper's wave dash works out much better this time. Not willing to try and read that bounce. I think we see players, especially if they're down. If Ripper was down in this game, I have a feeling he tries to read that post bounce in order to get a goal, but played it safer and ends up getting demoed on the next possession. 5-5. Tie game here in a tied series. Grog this time winning the kickoff to the right and just puts it behind Ripper. Ripper had a chance to save. A standard kickoff, they tried to force left, and Grog intentionally tried to take right, but Grog was just there faster, so they were both setting up that same play. I think, admittedly, Ripper was pretty far from goal side. Grog is doing a really good job of getting to the goal side quickly, and now a little ceiling pinch in order to react to the challenge. And if there's one thing we cannot question that Grog is good at, it is reading the defense on these aerial plays. Previously, we saw Grog be patient, bring the ball to the ground every time Ripper was waiting on the goal line. This time, Grog recognizes Ripper is coming to challenge early, so adjust the aerial into a pinch off the ceiling in order to punish that. Grog now just playing a bit of keep away off this kickoff. And it's going to turn it in to an 8-5 game. A little dash on the side wall as they grabbed the boost in order to get some momentum back the other way. Grog looking to find some separation like they've had in every game so far, but they weren't able to hold on to it in game 2. Show Ripper kickoff. All right, yeah, we've done a few Grog kickoffs in a row. I'll make sure to show some Ripper kickoffs. Grog maybe trying to be a superhero there. Oh, Ripper missed the double. We were watching Grog POV, but it seemed possible. Ripper actually going to miss this pre-flip touch as well. There was a chance to score. As Ripper, a ground pinch? No, went for the pogo. I think we saw Ripper try pogos yesterday as well. I'm trying to remember if we did. The best pogo of the tournament by far has been scored by Samurai. As Grog double reset from the back corner into a musty. And Ripper will get a 9th. Oh, sorry, not Ripper. Grog will get a 9th. As Ripper's forced to just sit and watch in awe. Ripper cannot get the ball movement needed to score on this kickoff. Grog challenging and cutting off that angle. Grog first up to the ball. Ripper going to back off. Grog heavy touch. Expecting a race to the midfield. High ball means if Grog just hits heavy, they will score if Ripper tried to race him, but Ripper did back off. Now Grog just going absolutely insane with it across the whole field using the ceiling. But this time the finish is denied as Grog is going to reset again Another dribble from the back wall up into the ceiling. Lost control of this one, though. This one should be easily saved. Ripper going to show off what they can do. A very similar play for them as they go to ceiling, but way too high. Not a lot of adjustments can be made to get that down to the ground in time. And this back and forth of these two players not converting is heavily in favor of Grog, who's up 4 and would love to not go back to a kick out for the rest of the game. Ripper knows they have a boost advantage. Just barely won the 50, and that was good enough. I say they won it. It went to the back wall, but the reason why it was a win is because it created an opportunity like this to get a goal. Now with 20 seconds, Ripper going to need a few favorable kickoffs, and that one was already probably a game ender. You cannot have it fall into the control of the opponents, especially a very slow kickoff like that, where possession either way is going to take a while to control. Grog going to go up 2-1 in the series as they dribble off the attacking wall and go for the double reset that pins off the back wall. We'll see if Ripper wants to give any more clues as to who they are. They couldn't quite hit the open net as it lands short. Grog going to go up 2-1. The best of 5. Grog versus Ripper. Game 4. Ripper able to take a singular game by very slim margins. Grog has looked confident in their wins. Grog able to backflip and get back in the way of this shot. So they now see Ripper backing off. They're going to head to the opposite corner and go for an air dribble. Ripper this time going to ceiling heights. And we see Grog reacting accordingly. They could not get a reset or anything over the top of Ripper, so they immediately just started saving boost and prepping to use that for the eventual 50, trying to bait Ripper into a bad 50. Now Grog going to go to their back wall. Just play with the ceiling a little bit all the way across the field, but did ultimately miss the shot. And Ripper should be able to counter here, just barely gets it. Grog tried to go for the bump in order to finally delete Ripper before the shot. Can we see the ping? No, I every time I intentionally switch back to the scene of me in between games because I do not want you guys to see the ping. I want you guys to rely exclusively on the player's playstyle. Ripper, nice cut in the midfield as Grog goes chasing down. A very clear single jump that telegraphs where the challenge is headed. Little midfield bump play. Ripper going to see a lead here in game number 4. Grog, little power slide cut catch in order to be able to take this air dribble. Falls to the ground as Ripper waits inside the orange box, and Grog not having the kind of success they were seeing earlier, as it feels like almost every possession is ending with a lackluster shot and a counterattack for Ripper. Ripper, the wave dash pop before losing possession. Grog into the air out of the back corner, just about ceiling height, looking for a double. Decided to use the flip early, but again, I mean, it's just another pass to Ripper. And Ripper has been more than willing to just attempt to defend and score the other way. This can be an effective strategy if your opponent is willing to try again and again and again when something is not working. And at least in this game, Grog seems undeterred by the lack of success. But we'll see right now. This will be a moment. Yeah, again, air dribble for Grog. This time, gonna let the ball bounce, and that one will be good enough. When you're trying to be extra and it's not working, why not just do nothing at all? As Grog maybe didn't even really get that reset. I'm not sure if it was the slow-mo that made it unclear, but they'll just let it bounce. Find its way into the top right. Ripper attempting to get the quick kickoff goal. He's not going to be able to. In fact, Grog's going to let it stop on the goal line. 7 boosts to work with. They'll put one on target. Now need to be careful because they have a boost disadvantage, and Ripper is known to rip it. Ripper is absolutely known to rip it, and that is exactly what they'll do as they rip one the length of the field. Grog. Double jump air dribble that they seem half committed to. A lot of the aerial plays have looked that way since they've stopped succeeding. Maybe a mistouch from Grog as they immediately kill the bounce, and Ripper is actually going to let it go in slow to waste a bit of extra time. Ripper has some cushion here against Grog. Up 7-3, the kind of cushion I don't know Ripper has had yet in this series. And with a minute 20 left to go, Grog feeling the pressure on 0 boost. Trying to play the possession into the orange half. Does manage to chase Ripper off the ball, but can't see Ripper behind as they look to get a dribble setup. The recovery demo does return possession to them with a couple pads to work with. Trying to put it inside the far post and can't. Ripper will set up a musty double and actually allowed Grog to get back. So 50 seconds left to go. Grog has an air dribble resets. The flip and shot is saved. And it's going to be another counterattack for Ripper. And that's a next call. We will take you to the next game. Grog has had enough. Game 5, Grog and Ripper. In the masked duelist. Game 5. Only one of these two players can advance to get a chance at the grand finals prize. A nice $500 to walk away for a couple games of Rocket League. And Ripper wants it to be them. A 1-0 lead and a mental edge, it would seem, towards the end of that game 4. As Grog does their best to pre-jump to try and cover their angles, but can't do so. Ripper, demo, and a goal. Just so everybody knows, behind the scenes we have confirmed that the next game, which I believe is Zippy versus Vulcan, will not be played today. Will not be played today. It'll be rescheduled for hopefully tomorrow. And then the grand final will be played tomorrow as well. For those of you on YouTube, you will have no delay. The games will show up on your feed each subsequent day. And then we'll have to reveal them all, of course, on Saturday, only after someone has won. Feer is edging us. Not intentionally this time. Sometimes the edging edges itself completely on accident. Grog, still not a goal scored in the first minute of Game 5. as they tap this one out to midfield. Ripper, an air dribble and a bump. This ball is just in. I was going to say it might be too high. Nothing too crazy on the air dribble, but it's enough. As Grog found themselves directly under the play. They're going to have a hard time getting back to the ball from underneath. Oh, 13 Sky, thank you for the prime for 2 months. Much appreciated. Grog, heavy touch out of the back corner. Has the reset at ceiling heights. This time does not go for the musty. Instead brings it to the ground, which is actually a big mix-up, and just passed the ball to Ripper. We've seen a few of these from Grog. I didn't hate the mix-up on the aerial. It actually is a little bit of a safer variation, one that he should be able to recover from, but when you just tap the ball outfield and give the ball to the opponent, that is never going to be the play. Now Grog, out of their own corner, has a reset, needs a bit of offense to get going before it's too late. But Ripper's defense has become assured. Now Grog, waiting on the goal line, afraid of the challenge, pops the ball up. Put this one directly into Ripper. As every second that wastes off the clock is in favor of Ripper. Grog playing off the wall. Ripper has the save. The counter isn't quite there. Not the rip that we're used to seeing. The halfway mark is always an important part of the game. It's where you're officially running out of time, but look at that. Before we reach halfway, it's an air dribble from that back corner wall and a perfect use of the reset in order for Grog to see some life. Grog gonna need a bit of a surge here late in this game 5. They have themselves a good possession right now. It's a bit of a scramble for Ripper. They've done well so far, but I feel like they're playing with fire on low boost. Grog is now officially out of boost as well. Just barely able to pre-flip to touch this one away. Boost advantage will stay with Grog, who tries to take the ball to the other side of the field, but didn't get the clean landing they wanted. Ended up giving the ball to Ripper, and it's just a few mechanical mistakes for Grog that have been the difference. You can see a missed dash there as Grog landed, just allowing Ripper that free opportunity. Grog, kickoff win to the side wall. Reset almost pancaked with the ceiling. Not going to move the ball quickly, but Ripper has started to make the reads on defense. I mean, we were talking all about early how Grog had the defenders on a string, it felt like. But all of a sudden, Ripper has found the answer. Great follow-up, though, from Grog. Sees a zero boost defender, puts it at crossbar heights. Ripper knows they can't double jump. They're just waiting out, seeing what they can do on the ground. Not quite enough. Ripper. Are they going to play this lead any different with 1:30 left to go? 4-goal lead. They are certainly in a position where they can start the safe offense, the time-wasting offense. No big risks anymore. Take every decision that's just a little bit slower, a little bit safer. Right now, this midfield play where Grog does not have control, maybe enough to end it. In fact, oftentimes you'll get your free opportunities because a player in Grog's position has to start diving, and they're going to drop the GGs. Ripper will take it in Game 5 against Grog and advance to the grand finals of Mass Duelist. GG's. I'll go ahead and end the game. And it's now time for you guys to guess. We'll get the guesses from the players on who they think they were playing. That will be revealed at the end after the grand final. But for now, the guesses for you guys. So, who do you think was Grog? Okay, there we go. Who is Grog? Who is Grog? All right, I am now officially looking at the chat for names. I see Chronic. I see Diaz. I see First Killer. I see AJ. Lots of Chronics. I see Beast Mode. I see Daniel. I see Evo. Someone's up to date. They didn't put an O in Evo's name. I see Forky. We have First Killer already. Squishy. Is it an NA lobby? It's a US East server. Cosmic. Okay. That is 10. Who is Grog, chat? Now, last time, you guys said Grog was Reddles. This time, Reddles not an option. Chat is trying to decide between Chronic and Diaz for Grog, and those two are clearly ahead of everyone else, so let's run the poll again. Who is Grog? Everyone must decide between Chronic and Diaz. If you weren't voting Chronic Diaz, it doesn't matter. It's time to make your vote useful. Chronic or Diaz? The last vote we had like this was, I think, for Vulcan. You guys were deciding between Daniel and First Killer. You went with First Killer that time. This one is very close. Grog is either Chronic or Diaz, according to you guys. If anybody pulls away with 5 or so votes, I will lock it in. But as votes are still coming in, we will let them continue. There is 6 vote lead, 7 vote lead, 10 vote lead. Chronic pulled away. Chat going with Chronic for Grog. Who is Ripper? Who is our grand finalist, chat? I see Wavy, which is what you guys went with last time. I see Cosmic. I see Jack. Arsenal. I see Moxie. I see... Tricky's never played a show match before. I said everyone has played at least one show match. I see First Killer. I see Beast Mode. I see AJ. I see Daniel. And I see Feer. All right, chat. Who is Ripper? After you watched Ripper play Takumi, I think it was, you guys decided Ripper was Wavy. Chat seems pretty certain. They have only 2 options, Wavy and Cosmic, but I'm not going to run another poll if Wavy is double the votes of Cosmic, which they are right now. I think if every other person voted Cosmic, it would... it'd actually be kind of close. If every single other person who's forced not to vote for one of them to vote, maybe votes Cosmic, but I think it's fair. You guys want Wavy. I think it's pretty clear you want Wavy. We will give you guys Wavy. You're sticking with Wavy for Ripper. Okay, are you guys ready for your hints? Do you guys want a hint? Yes or no? Here, I'll let you decide. Because we didn't run it today. We didn't reveal today. I'll let you guys decide if you want the hint that I'm gonna give. It's not a huge hint, chat. I'm not gonna like straight up tell you who's playing. It's a pretty minor hint. You know how much I've been not wanting to give hints. You know I'm not about to give the whole thing away. But if you do want a hint, I will give it to you. And chat, I saw some no's at first, but once it came down to voting time, everybody wants their hints. The official hint is this, and I think it's a decent hint. 3 RLCS regions are represented in this tournament on US East. 3 RLCS regions. The players who are playing in this tournament represent 3 unique RLCS regions. There's your hint. I think it's helpful. I think it's decently helpful. Wait, you're not counting imports like Jack as EU? No. In the last season, in the last regionals played for this season of RLCS, you have players who played in 3 different of those regions playing in this tournament.